Between love and war, I would always choose love. And it's not even on that fluffy, like woo woo ish. It's literally because of how I have rewired the neuroplasticity of my brain through years of constant training and showing up and relearning and unlearning. And I'm so grateful for it. But just because of that, it's like it doesn't mean it doesn't carry its cons still. So many pros, but still has the cons. Because you find yourself realizing that a lot of people haven't done that work yet, and it can be very isolating. And especially when it comes to like romantic love, because I am heterosexual, and so I feel like there's a lot of men who haven't really done that work, and it can just be a little bit unfortunate when you've gotten to the point of being mostly secure. I definitely have still some like anxious parts to me, but yeah, you've done the work, and it's met with like avoidance. It's met with like carelessness and things like that. Yeah. But like even in spite of that, like the way that my body just like naturally like gravitates towards love, like it's like I want to still love you and I will still love you even from a distance, and that's the boundaries part speaking. But it's like I don't want to be mad at you. I'm tired of the ego battles. I'm tired of like just the back and forth, because it's just like no, like let's just be grown, you know. Because at the end of the day, like everybody at the very root of us, we all have this deep innate desire to love and be loved. And that's really what it boils down to. But then you have all these other things that pile on top of it, and it's ego and it's anger and it's avoidance, and it's like so many different things that clouds that. And it can be unfortunate. I think it's needed, but staying in that space too long, I think it can be unfortunate and lead to our own misfortune and just disappointment with others. And I know I made a video like a couple of days back talking about like how I was just processing out loud and trying to figure out the answer. And if I'm being honest, I mean, it definitely sucks. I will say that. Like, I'm holding back tears because sometimes you wish like love was enough. Like, and that's what we always hear. And in so many ways, it is, but it's also not. And that's the thing. And it's also like it takes two to tango, essentially. And we can't force anything. We really can't force anything over anyone, any situation. Like, and I know sometimes it feels like we wish we could, that we have more control over things that we don't have control over. And that's where trust, that's where true faith comes in, and patience comes in, and like sitting within the uncertainty. Yeah. And it can really be like the point that drives you mad and is your breaking point, and you just still try to assume control regardless, and then things will still turn out how they're supposed to turn out, or you just find acceptance and kind of relax and ease yourself and understanding like, you know what, things are going to play out, things are going to happen the way that they're supposed to. And knowing that like the best, like ultimately like we will get the best of what we want and need. And so never doubting that. And I just true trust that like God will always give you exactly what you want or more or better, right? So yeah. It's that difference of like love and war and even like the internal war. Oh my God. It's like we are always having this internal struggle. And I made another post about how, excuse me, about how like the greatest war we'll ever have to fight is with that of our egos. Like truly fighting our internal like self and pride and surrendering. And I think that's the biggest thing, especially in this day and age. Oh my God. Especially in this day and age. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to assume so much control. And there's, it's becoming more rare to find people surrendering in different ways. Because surrender truly means acceptance. Like it just is what it is. And you understand like everything is what it isn't and it is what it is. That's just what it is, right? um and there's no real like conditions around it. There's no but with it, right? It just is. And so like we've I think as time goes on, slowly people lose the art of what it means to surrender. And like knowing like the honor in that, and there's a lot of humility within that. There's a lot of reward in that too. And I think we conflate our egos and we confuse like ego and control and power as like all that we could ever have, when there is sometimes just as much, even more, within surrender. It's an interesting concept, but you have to be pretty self-aware and have a sense of like critical thinking to understand that. So yeah.